Hello, everybody. Welcome to this new webinar. I have with me here Rashbir. Hi, Rashbir.
Hi, Mikkel.
How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Great. I'm doing good. I'm great. Thank you.
Yeah. So today's webinar, the title says how to get started as an educational organization. So that's what we are going to be talking about today. It's gonna be
Okay. Sounds great.
super interesting webinar. We do this kind
Okay.
of kickoff or workshops quite often with our customers. So it's gonna be, I think, a very useful webinar to many people, and
All right.
mainly to understand that it's not that difficult to get started with Simumatik. Okay,
Okay.
so
Mhm.
we will be discussing the activation process, how you activate your
Mhm.
organization, the signing up process, and so
Okay.
on. Then we are gonna show how the organization settings work and so on, what can you change, how the subscription can be renewed and so on very quickly.
Okay. Mhm.
Step 3 will be managing your members in the organization, different
Okay.
roles. We are gonna do some role play. We are gonna invite you as a teacher, Rashbir, well, as a student. Sorry.
Okay. Or as a
Yeah,
student.
yeah,
Okay. Student sounds better.
yeah. And we will see how it works, how to share virtual
Okay.
labs with the students and so on. And then we
Mhm.
will be doing a few virtual labs. We will create a few virtual labs and we will
Okay.
show how the students can experience them and how they can make the deliverables from the labs and so on.
Okay.
So
So
uh,
I have one question before we start. Who can be actually educational organization? Is it for universities or also for some training centers?
it is open to any kind of organization as long as the
Okay.
main objective is the education. Okay, it
Okay.
can be
Mhm.
any educational organization from
Okay.
high schools to universities, even research
Okay.
centers if they do some kind of education, and even
Okay.
some departments in big companies that just work with education of their employees,
Just
for
with an
example.
education. Okay. So in-house trainings,
Yeah,
they can
it
also
could it could be
get this
used. Yeah.
education. Okay. All right. Sounds great.
Good. So we will be sharing
Okay.
our screen, and we will be sharing
Hmm.
sometimes my screen, your screen, so people knows that as well.
Okay.
So let's
All right.
start with the very basics. For those that don't know, you can always jump into our website, simumatik.com. Click here, go
Okay.
to platform if you already have an
Hmm.
account, or sign up for free.
Hmm.
You will end up in the login page. Okay, in this
Okay.
case you just need to sign up like in any other online platform. In this case I'm just going
Okay.
to use an account we have created for this webinar, and it's called
Okay.
teacher at simumatik.com. I already have the account, so I'm gonna use my password. And as everyone knows, I guess at this point, is Simumatik is a cloud-based platform, so you just need to have a username or an email address
Awesome.
and
All
the
right.
password to access it from
Okay.
any computer. Okay.
That's great.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So when you access first and you are not a member of an organization, it will look something like that.
Hmm.
I guess your account
Okay.
also looks something like that. You have what we call
Yeah.
the private profile. Okay, this is where you can create your
Okay. Hmm.
own systems and component, play around. Okay, so now we are gonna activate this organization key. Let's say you
Okay.
have contact us, you get approved by your organization that you are gonna purchase a subscription with Simumatik. You get an invoice, and
Okay.
usually in the invoice you will get what we call the subscription key. Okay, and that is just
Okay.
a value you can enter here to activate your organization.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
come here and you just
Hmm.
paste that value. It can be activated just
Okay.
once, and then we
Okay.
just you just enter the name of your organization. So let's call it Simumatik high school. Yep. And we add the URL. Let's point to the Simumatik website. And we add the logo.
Okay.
We have a Simumatik logo here. Just your organization's logo. And once we do that, now we can click activate. And automatically the organization has been created. And your user,
Right.
this teacher account, has become the administrator of this organization. Okay?
Automatically. Okay.
Automatically. And this is very important because
Okay.
each organization needs to have at least one administrator. So whoever you
That's
are,
right.
if it's not planned that you will be the user in this organization or one of the end users, you need to assign someone else, as we will see soon, as administrator before you can jump off. Okay. And basically, this is how from now your account, when you come to the welcome page or welcome, the start page in Simumatik will look like. You will have your own profile and the school profile.
And organization. Yeah. Okay.
If you want to work within the organization, share content with other teachers or students, or if you are going to access as a student, you need to select this card before you jump to the workspace. Okay.
Okay.
We will come to that later. But now let's take a look to the administrator page. Okay. So here we have some settings. Let's take a quick look to that. And basically this is what we entered before, but we can modify it if we want. We can fix the URL, we can fix the logo if we want to change it, or we can modify the name. Okay. You fix whatever you need, click save, and the settings will be saved. And the second thing that is interesting to know is that the day that you activate the organization, it will be recorded here, and that's the day.
That's nice.
Yeah, and it will last for 1 year. Is the default subscription period. It's possible to purchase keys with more than 1 year, but that's the default. And you see also when it's gonna be expired. One thing that you will get a new subscription key every year. You will get it before the end of the period, and you can activate it whenever you want. So you can come here, click renew, enter it, and that subscription just will be queued, and it will enter. It will enter, or will be activated as soon the previous one went off. Okay.
It's expiring.
It's expired. Yeah. Each subscription has some credits for free included, and this is what we call the Simumatik credits. They may be used to use online workspace, and in the near future to buy or purchase additional features in Simumatik. Yeah, so we will leave it like that for now. You can keep connected to our YouTube channel and our social media to know more about incoming features. But basically, these credits can be used to buy computer hours in the cloud, basically.
Okay. And one question, can we take this credit to the next subscription if we don't use it?
Yes.
Or it will be reset?
No, they are accumulated. So this is like a like a balance account,
like a buffer.
Yeah, it's like a buffer. So what you don't use, it will be in the next period as well.
Okay.
You can see as well if someone uses credits, you will see them here, who is using the credits and all this information.
So for example, I add 10 accounts in this organization. And can one account use all the credits, or each account has some specific credits to use?
No, for now, you can just allow all users to use the credits. Yeah, we will see. We will see, because we have here that it may be interesting to limit the amount of credits that different users can use
for each account.
Yeah. So if you think that could be an interesting feature, you can just write some comments in this webinar or contact us. We will happy to discuss it with you. So
Okay.
it's not that much. Changing the settings, renewing, pretty simple. Now we come to managing the members. Okay, as we can see here,
Okay.
this subscription, we saw it also in the settings or in this subscription page. It has 26. That means that we can have 20 members in this subscription at the same time. Okay, and that means that these members, they will have their own Simumatik account, and they will be able to join this organization wherever they are. Okay, because that's the nice thing with the seats. It is attached to an email address, not a specific computer. So we don't have this dongle licensing system. Okay,
very nice.
Very flexible.
Very cool.
So you can actually, even if you have 20 seats, that means mainly in educational organizations, that you can invite some students and teachers in, for example, spring, and then other students and teachers during autumn, and you will have more users than the amount of seats at the end of the year. Okay, so that's possible. It's not meant to be used so you change the members every day, but you can change the members every time a course starts and a course ends. Okay, and we are gonna simulate that. So I'm gonna create a group for teachers, just to add myself to that group, because as you see here, I'm an group. So I'm gonna transfer myself to the teacher group.
Okay.
So I'm here now. You see here that my role is administrator, as we said before when I joined, and now I can create another group for students and invite the students from here, or I can invite them directly, and this pop-up will actually allow me to create a new group for these students. So let's
directly there.
Yeah, let's call this group course automation. Okay, let's imagine we have a course on automation, and we are going to invite a bunch of students to that course. So we create.
So these groups will help you to make different different subjects. For example, automation, robotics, and then you can add students based on the subject.
Yes, one of the main the benefits of grouping users is that you can clean them and search them much easier. So it's easier to know where is each of the user and so on. And when you want to clean a group, you can just click and you release all the seats with just one click. So kick off all the group by one click. But another important feature is that when you create, as a teacher, as we will see later, different virtual labs, you can share those virtual labs with the entire organization, or just specific individual or a specific group, which makes it
very interesting.
Which makes it more flexible and more easier to handle, because maybe not all the labs will be used by all the students. So make them live easier as well. So I'm gonna add some students, and we have also this fake account, Simumatik, studentssimumatik.com, and I'm gonna do the trick that just imagine I have several students. I can just copy paste their emails here, or I can separate them by comma. So let's say I can copy their email addresses from a sheet, Google Sheet or Excel sheet or whatever, and then just click next. And what will happen here is that for those that do not have an existing account, sorry, I typed wrong the email. I had to type student, not students.
I did see it. It was too small for me.
So we do like this.
Okay.
And this should be like that. So now we
Okay.
will see that it's just these students that do not have a Simumatik account. They actually
Okay.
student
Got it. So
student at simumatik.com, you already have that account. You can access with that Raspberry. You will do it in a moment.
okay. Yeah.
So what happens here is that for those that do not have an account, we can send them a personal message, so they will get an email,
Okay.
and they in this email they will have a link to come to Simumatik and sign up. Okay, and once they sign up, they will be included automatically in the organization. So
Oh, great.
yeah, hi guys, please sign up at simumatik.com for before the next lab. So I can send this message, and automatically we see two things here. We see that in this group there are 2 new members automatically, those that already had the account.
Okay.
And here in the pending list, we see the ones that didn't have a Simumatik account, but
Okay.
they got an email. Okay.
Got it. Got it.
At this point, it can be interesting to make sure with the IT department that emails coming from simumatik.com don't end up in a spam folder or are filtered somehow. Can you check your email and maybe show quickly to the audience the email you got?
Let me see if I got an email.
In the
Yes, I
meantime,
got
yeah,
an
you
email.
got it.
It'll be
Yeah, I can make you share the screen. So yeah, you got there several
that's the email I
notifications.
got.
Yeah.
Invitation from Simumatik High School. You're invited to join Simumatik with a personal message which you wrote and sign up. So with sign up, I got to enter my ID and password. That's great. And continue.
Yeah. In your case, you already have the account, but if you don't have, you need to click and sign up and create it. But so,
but I can see the organization here.
Exactly, now. I see that you have the organization there. So, but the difference is that if you click in the menu up in the card the difference between your card and my card is that you cannot enter the administrator page because you don't have the rights. Okay, so if you
I'm just a user. Okay,
yes, you are a user. So if I go back now here to the start page, the difference is that I can renew the subscription and I can see the administrator page. So that's the difference. So basically now we have a teacher, we have some students. And now we are gonna quickly mention the roles. Okay, I think it's a good moment to tell about the help. Here in the help icon, you can find the user manual. Everything we just did is included in the account part. So here, if you come to organization, I think it's here. It explains exactly the same process we follow.
All right.
And actually explains the different roles. Okay, here you have viewer, creator, owner. Okay. For now, we are gonna leave you as viewer. Is the typical typical
for
role
the students,
for the students.
Yeah.
If you want to allow them to create their own systems or clone maybe the teacher's lab to make some modifications and be able to save the results, then you need to make them creator. Okay, but I will say that in educational organizations, people usually is here, or students are usually here. Teachers, I will say they should be manager because it's the role you need to invite new students. Okay. So I will say that at least all teachers are managers. It can be also good to have a couple of administrators in the organization. Okay.
One is not available, the other can do the work.
Yeah, and administrators can do everything. They can remove any member and so on. So I think we are done with the first 3 steps. I think we are gonna start with the fun part, and we are gonna create some lab. Okay. So
All right.
I'm
All right.
logged in. I'm gonna jump in. Very very important. I select the high school card,
Organization.
and I'm
Okay.
gonna launch the workspace. I'm gonna work online
Okay.
or local. Sorry. To use the online
Okay.
workspace, you need the credits. Okay. So here you can
You need the
select
credits. All right.
how long are you planning to work. Then it will take some credits.
Okay.
And
Okay.
if you release or close the online workspace before the time, let's say we book it for 8 hours, we started a computer in the cloud for you, but after 3-4 hours you are done. If you close it, you will get some credits back, okay, for entire
Okay,
hours.
cool.
So if you
Oh,
have
okay.
booked for 8 hours, then you will be your wallet will be reduced with 8 credits. But if you
Okay.
close
But
it,
I have a,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I have a question. Is it based on hours or minutes?
Hours.
I
Yeah,
mean, for example, if I start 8 hours, I completed 7 hours, 10 minutes, but my eighth hour is gone
yeah.
after
Then
that, right?
there are not
Okay.
half credits or something like that. So it's just
Okay, so just one credit, one
yeah,
hour.
yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
Okay.
So we are not launching an online credit, an online workspace.
Yeah.
Sorry. And let's go ahead with
Yeah.
the local workspace. And local workspace, you need to install the
Okay.
launcher. We have shown it in
Yeah.
other webinars and so on. So it's the very basic. So
Exactly.
now we are up and running. And from here,
Okay.
typical thing we recommend is to and probably who the people that is watching us already have explored a little bit Simumatik. What we recommend is to go to the public systems. Okay, see if you find something that you think you could use in your course, because it's much easier to start from a system that has already been created and modify it, as we will do now, than starting from scratch. Okay, you will be able to do that as well if you want, but it's way easier to start with something that is being created. And we have a lot of
Right.
systems we have created ourselves, but also other organizations have created and published. Okay, and that's the beauty of having
Oh,
this community we are trying to build, because
wow.
people, they can publish their systems
Okay.
whenever they want. Okay, after our filtering and confirmation, they can publish the content. So
Okay.
let's say in this automation course, I want the students to do some introduction to pneumatics and maybe
Okay.
wire automation. So
Okay.
I like this tutorial. It's very simple. It has some solenoid valves and pneumatic cylinders. I'm gonna take this.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this, but
Okay.
before I load it, I'm gonna create a clone. And a clone means that
Okay.
I'm gonna copy this, make a copy of this public system,
Okay.
and make that copy mine copy or private in our
Got it. So you can
organization.
modify it and you can customize it based on your
Exactly.
requirement.
And we are gonna
Okay.
call it exercise 1, for example.
So I have a question here. Now you could clone it. This is because someone who published that allows other to clone it, right? You can
Yes.
also make it private so that nobody can clone it.
Yes. So this clone is still private. You see here that we could publish it, but it's still private, and no one outside from my organization now, or our organization now, can see it, okay, or access it.
Okay.
We will explain how we can share this system I just created within the organization, because we mentioned that before.
All right.
But for now, I just call it automation course exercise 1. I can type here whatever I want. This is the description, for example, and here is a good place to put some information for the students. Another nice thing is that here we can add any document we want. Okay, even videos, so the students will be able to access them. So let's say you have a PDF explaining what the students have to do in this exercise. You can just select here, browse in your computer, and add any file. So let's say, for example, this file. And then and then remove it. You can download it anytime, upload a new version, or as I'm doing now,
Okay.
just remove it.
Okay.
So we are done. If we would like to remove this or delete it, we can just click here. We can also, once we are finished with the system, but we want to make another version of it, we can clone it. So you can clone any system, okay, public or private. So let's say we have now this system. We can click here and we see it in our private systems now. We didn't see it before. And now we can load it, and you will see it's gonna download the system from the cloud, and it's gonna open. Okay, and this is a very simple system. We have a couple of cylinders. I don't like them, but they are too big, so we are gonna replace them very quickly. We are gonna add some extra components, because what I want the students to do in this exercise is to play a little bit with these solenoid valves, connect them somehow, so they are gonna create a kind of functionality with them. Okay.
Got it.
So to do the modification, I can just start removing some components. I can come here, remove these two cylinders I don't like. I'm gonna find a smaller cylinder. So again, you can have your own components. We will talk about that in another webinar. You can search in our in our academy that we will point later how to create your own
how to create components.
Yes. But now we are going to use public libraries. Okay, so here we have again components that someone has created, and they are public. And I'm going to the pneumatics. I'm going to search for some cylinder, and I'm going to take a single acting cylinder, not this one. This is the
so these components are provided by Simumatik for anybody to use.
Yes,
these
exactly.
Are all the components library.
These are components that someone has created and are published. Yeah. So let's add this double acting cylinder. We are gonna call it 2. And now it's added. It's inside the box, but we can put it somewhere here. And this will be maybe. Let me see. I'm gonna rotate it here as well. We do like that. 180 degrees. And then we are going to add another component. It will be a single acting cylinder, as long as the other one, maybe this one. Yeah. So it's this almost the same cylinder. This one is going to be a single acting. So let's do like this, and again rotate it 90 degrees. Okay. So which is the idea? I'm going to add let me see. We do it like this and like that. So the idea is that I'm gonna add a little box here. I want the students to wire this. So when they press the green button, the cylinder needs to expand, move the box, and then automatically I want that they wire it. So we are gonna add a sensor here. And the sensor should trigger the other solenoid valve to make the second cylinder to expand. And we can I think we can find a cylinder sensor, if not here in the electric components.
It will be cylinder sensor. So I think it's called cylinder sensor.
Yes,
I've used it before. Yeah.
So we are gonna call it BO1 sensor. And here a bit more tricky part. We need to place this cylinder in position. So let's come here.
How do you do that when it's like 3D? Is it easy? How do you do it?
I usually just move it just in one axis, as you see here, until we meet the component, or you can use a plane. It's much more convenient.
The plane.
So
plane looks like much better. Yeah,
moving in a plane. And then it's very useful also to center the camera by right clicking where you want to play around. So for example, if I want to center in this cylinder, it's good if I right click, I center the camera on the cylinder, and now I can try to position the sensor much more accurately. And now we just need to position it, rotate it let's say like that.
And how do you see this pool? Where do you position it? What's the best tip for positioning the sensor?
Yeah, that's may sound tricky, but it doesn't need to be that tricky. There is we are gonna do one thing. We are, in order to this sensor to work, we need to feed it. Okay, so now we need to test it.
Plus the power.
Yeah. The final exercise for the students could be that they have to figure out that they have to power the sensor. Okay, but now let's do it. So we have a power supply here. Let me see. This is the power supply. So we are gonna take the sensor again, and we are gonna connect it. Why I'm connecting these two ports? Because I already used this sensor many times, but if you haven't seen other webinars, you can click the symbol. You can see here which is each of the ports, and also you can check the information.
The component page.
And here it says what is the ports of the component and so on. Here we can expect 24 volts in the signal port when the sensor is activated. Okay, so at this point, if I click play, the sensor is yellow because it's not detecting anything. We could take the cylinder, this is cylinder 2, and put pressure directly from the compressor here just to expand it.
Okay, just for testing.
Yeah, and I was super lucky because I actually got it detect. Why? Why is that? I can explain it and how we could arrange it properly. If we activate the debug physics feature and we disable this, we will see here how this actually
very interesting,
how this cylinder is working or is designed in the physics part. So if we do the opposite, now we will see this piston going back and returning. So it's this part here, a bit thicker part of the cylinder, that the sensor is able to detect. And I was, as I said,
you can also put another sensor there if you want.
Exactly. So as I say, I was lucky. I put it pretty well. But this is how you can adjust.
Small question. I have a small question here. Why was the only inside part of cylinder was green? Because of some reason?
While we are
because only physics component are green.
While we are emulating or we are running the model, the physics engine uses different colors to illustrate the status of different parts. Okay, so green is while things are moving or still active in the physics engine. They become white when they are static. Okay. So actually it will be green while it's moving out the cylinder, but once this stops, after a few seconds, it's gonna become white.
Turn white. All right.
So, I mean, we have all the ingredients. The only thing I'm missing here is just a little piece here, a little box, so the students can throw from the table. Okay, we take this mini box. We are gonna call it box, just box. Sorry, I did something wrong because we already have a box, a component called box for this. Okay. So we cannot add another component with the same name. We actually got here an error and a pop-up. So let's call it product, for example.
All right.
We don't have any component called product in this assembly. You can have components with the same name, but it should be in different assemblies. Okay, so now here is our product. You see again, I'm using this plane is the easiest way to place it on top of the table. And now doing that, I could just use the other plane, this one. Let me see, and put it in front of the cylinder. And now I'm pretty sure this is good. I mean, if I click play, it ends up where I want. And basically, what I want the students to do now, I want them to make the connections. So when we press the green button, the cylinder will expand, and we show it now. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
We see that this second cylinder is not very well positioned. We can just
Yeah.
pause
Not
and
bad
move
position.
this. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And the second thing is that when that happens and the sensor detects that is forward, I want them to take the second cylinder and expand it as well. And then they throw the product through
Perfect.
from the table.
Okay. Okay.
And once
Perfect.
that happened, I want them to be able to press
Bring
the
it
blue
back.
button, to bring it back,
Okay.
bring everything back, and that will
Okay.
be the exercise.
Got it.
I could
Got it.
write that in a PDF or send them a video of the final result, whatever I want.
Okay.
But now, how do I want the students to work? I think people has seen that we were doing the connections here, but I think it's way more pedagogic to use what we call the 2D view. Okay, so this is where we could do two things here. We could allow the students to create a drawing just as we were playing around, just drag and drop all the components and connect them in a way so something happens. So if we do this and we go back, we will see that the cylinder expands automatically when we click play. That's one option. We just let the students to play, build the drawings and then export them. Or the other option is that we prepare the system with all the components, for example, all the symbols in one or several pages. So the student has to connect them. It's up to it's up to the teacher. So in this case, it's few components. So we need to we see that actually some of the components are already connected. We can remove these connections because we already have the sensor connected. But we are interested in this button, which we have this sensor, the green button. We can remove this red button because we don't need it for this exercise. We can go back, so we can say, okay, we have this button, we have another button here. Let's use that as well. We will want them to use these two solenoid valves, I1 for the single acting cylinder and this second one, and then we have the two cylinders as well.
Got it.
This is the first one, like this, and the second one. So basically with this, and let's add the compressor here in the bottom. Basically with this, and I mean, we can make it easier to the students. I can arrange things a little bit like that and put here the sensor, which is the only missing part, and ask them, okay, can you put this together now?
Yeah, I will try that.
Yeah.
Now it's my
so
turn.
now is your turn. So let's say I'm happy with my result. I like the lab. This is ready. I can just save.
Okay.
And the next step is to make it visible for you, because we can actually change the screen to you. Are you logged in already?
Yeah, I am logged in already.
So we see now your screen.
So
you are the student.
That's my screen. I will start my workspace.
Maybe you need to reset it. Yeah.
Restart. Okay.
I think you already had it already in use.
Okay, was in the workspace already. Okay. Then couple of seconds to restart it. So my task is just to plug the connection and make this box fall on the floor. Okay.
But let's show first that you probably won't see, or you shouldn't see this exercise because it's not shared with you. Let's try. So you can try to load it.
So load.
And there is nothing.
I don't see anything in private. Yeah.
Another thing
only public.
Another thing we can see is that you are not allowed to use the create button. It's disabled for you because your role is just viewer, and we say that before. We are not allowing the students so far. These students, we are not allowing them to create. Okay, So let's jump
Okay.
into my screen back, and I'm gonna show, okay, I'm done with the
Mm-hmm.
system. Now I want to make it visible for the students. I can go back to the system page and now click
Yeah.
share, not publish. We don't need to
Yeah.
publish it for
Publish.
everyone. We just want to share
Okay.
it within our
In
organization.
the organization. All right. Okay.
So we have two options here. We can go full and just share it with all the members of the organization
Okay.
and make them viewer. We can select both viewer or editor, or, which I think is better, we can invite a group. So we have this group
Okay.
I created, which is called the automation course. We can make just the members of that group be viewers of this system.
Okay.
And we can just save this setting. And now if we go back, we will see that this is shared with this organization or group. Yeah. Let's say you have a teacher assistant or another teacher involved in this course, and you want this teacher to be able to modify as well this system. So then in that case you could enter the email or the username and make this editor. Okay. Which we are not doing now with the student. Okay. So it's that simple. As soon as you have a member, you can share with unique members, a group, or the entire organization. So let's try it now. I'm gonna share back to your screen or show your screen, and let's try to load now.
I go to load.
You may need to maybe you need to just refresh the between the public and try to go back and forth. Yes.
I got it now. So let's load it.
This just happened because we did change the sharing while you were already on, so we just need to refresh the app.
Okay, now I have the system perfectly like you did. Okay, and now I go to 2D view. That's the exercises. So now I've performed the exercise. So first I need to give 24 volts to my switch, as I think it's the first way.
Yep.
24 volts, and this goes to, so the wall I need to connect first 24 to the Y02, and this should be 0. And I will try to make it look cleaner with this pivot point. So I just want to check this first. Let's connect the cylinder and the compressor.
Yeah, that should do something at least. Yeah.
Okay, let's try. So,
great.
This is great. Now I need to connect the sensor to the cylinder. Looks easy. I go back. So sensor needs 24. Let me reconfirm the connection. Component page. 24 volts to X1. 2D view. This is 24 volt. I prefer to do this way. So positive. This one negative. Okay. That's like this.
Great. Yeah, it's nice.
And this goes to my other wall. This goes to 0 volt.
Great.
This needs compressor. Should come here.
Awesome.
This goes to this cylinder. Now we need to bring it back this switch. So 24 volts here. Positive.
Yep.
Looks okay. And the output to this one. Just it.
Awesome.
And this one, 0 volts.
Yeah, you are a good student. Yeah. Did it in a few minutes. Yes.
I did my pneumatics lesson
Yeah.
at my school. Seriously.
Cool.
Okay, let's see. Emulation started, and I get out.
Oh yes, and now you
That's
can
great.
take it back, right, with the blue.
Let's try again.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Try again. Good.
Yeah. So that could be
Cool.
an exercise for the students. Pretty
Okay.
easy. I created the lab in just a few minutes. The student was able to access it when I wanted. Now, the question is, okay, maybe you are wondering, okay, how can students show that they did the work?
Comment the result. Okay.
Yeah, in this case, even if you try, you won't be able to save. Even if you reset the emulation now, the save button will be discarded for you because you are not the owner, or you don't have editing
Right. Okay.
editor role in this system. So
Got it.
anyway, there are two things we have been seeing our customers do with these kind of exercises. One is to ask the students to print the drawings they just did, and this is a feature that is included in Simumatik. You know how to do it, Raj?
Yeah, I know how to do it.
Yeah, you select
I have a
this
print button
print
on the
button.
bottom.
Yeah,
Maybe you don't see it clearly.
yeah, we don't
because
see it
the
because
screen
it's
is-
zoomed. Yeah,
but it's there.
yeah,
But I can click on the print and I can see now it's downloaded in my
Yeah.
computer. Let's open that and see if I can see my drawings. Give me a second.
yeah. So that will generate a PDF with your name
Now you can see.
Yeah. and the
That's my name and that's my drawing.
and the drawing. Okay, so that is one option, and that
Perfect.
could be sent to the teacher, for example, or uploaded to your
Okay.
teaching or learning platform. Another thing we have
Okay.
seen is that maybe recording a video or a GIF with the result is also something that is easy for the students to generate, and very useful for the teacher as well, to see that they are doing their exercise.
Right.
So I think
Okay.
that it shows the basis, okay? And that was maybe very simple exercise. Of course, it took us just some minutes, and that's why we select this exercise, but shows the idea, okay? You can have
The idea is clear.
you can have as many virtual labs, many exercises, or maybe different exercises on the same virtual lab. It's up to the teacher, okay? How you arrange that, but we show how you can take one lab that exists, modify it, and make it your own, okay? And share it with some students, just the ones that you are interested in.
I think this is also very interesting for giving an exam. Students can log into the computer and the timer starts. They have to solve
Exactly.
it and submit it.
Yeah, and that's
Very
something
interesting.
that's something we know is being done by many
cool.
organizations. So it's what it's called the live exam. It could be both PLC programming or, as we see in here, wire automation. It can be anything. You just put the students into a problem, and the great thing is that you just publish the system, or make it, you share it, sorry, not publish, you share it with them just a few minutes before the exam. They don't have access to it, so once they come to the exam, they open it and they say, oh, we need to fix this. And the good thing doing it live is for the teacher as well, is that you can just raise your hand when you are done. The teacher can come by and see the result. I mean, check.
exactly. That's
So
very interesting.
yeah, it's something that I use a lot when I was teacher in the university, the live exams, and
Oh, cool. Yeah,
I think it's a very interesting way of examination as well.
that's very interesting. True story.
So
Okay.
with this we could be done, but I would like to create another system just to show how we can do the same with the PLC. Okay, because we know that most of our users, they use Simumatik for programming PLCs or even with
Right.
robots. So I think it's also good to show that we can create or we can take in this case a system
PLC
that is
exercise. Yeah.
a system that is already built. We are gonna make it ours, and we are gonna
Okay.
show in just a few minutes how we can, in this case,
Okay.
create a base project for the students,
Mhm.
so they can take it from there when they are gonna do, for example, a live exam or just an exercise. Okay.
Right.
So
Okay.
let's go back to our public systems. I'm gonna take this training station that we like so much for this kind of exercises. And again, I go to
That's
the
interesting.
screen, system screen.
Mhm.
This is a public version. I'm gonna clone it. I'm gonna call it
Okay.
automation course exercise 2. Okay. And now again, I can add my description.
Yeah, more description.
This is
Okay.
the description. And probably here, or not probably, in just a few minutes, we are going to upload here as an asset the basic project that I want the students to start
Okay.
from. And this is something,
Okay.
yeah, this is something that can be useful to reduce. Oh, sorry, I'm not going to upload now. This is also something that the teacher can decide to do to reduce the learning curve of the students, okay, to make it easier for the student. So we already have that. We go back, we are gonna load the exercise. We see it here, the exercise 2. In this case,
So just a question, just one question for the viewers. How does a system can be connected to PLC? Is there a specific gateway
yeah,
you want to talk about?
yes. So we have this thing called the gateway. Okay, if we go back to where we started, you saw
Yeah.
that I mentioned that you need to have installed the launcher. The
Launcher.
launcher is the one
Right.
that takes care of the local workspace, so you can run the models in your computer, but also takes care of allowing the models both in online workspace and local workspace to connect to third-party software or hardware. Okay, it can be real hardware like some PLCs I have behind me, or it can be soft PLCs, as we will see now.
Soft PLCs. Okay, cool.
So if you want to learn more about the gateway, maybe it's now a good moment to show the audience that we have what we call the Simumatik Academy. It will be nice. It's maybe nice to mention that we are working a lot with the Academy. There will be some news in the Academy very soon. Rajbir, you are working quite hard with it.
I'm working on that.
Yeah.
Right.
Here we have one section called Gateway and Integration. You can find a lot of tutorials showing how you can open public systems, just tutorial systems, and show you how you can make the connection to different kind of controllers, PLCs, robots, and other things like just an Arduino or just a Python script or whatever. Because the good thing with the gateway is that it's also open source, and you can actually create your own drivers if you want. So you can make Simumatik models connect to whatever you want. So here we have not all, but some of the connectivity options, with each of them with an exercise or a description. And as you see here, this is just the system we open, and this is prepared to do the tutorial for Modbus connectivity. We are not gonna do that, but here inside this box, we have a PLC, which is our generic Simumatik PLC. Looks very nice. This has been updated some weeks ago, which can be adjusted to connect to anything. Okay, and this is the tricky thing. Here we can select which protocol we want to use to connect to different kinds of PLCs. We are gonna be programming in TIA Portal now in just a few minutes. We are gonna use PLC Sim. So this is the setup I want now. And because this is my system now, I can save it like this, and the students don't need to think about that anymore. Okay, because the system now is ready to connect to TIA Portal.
PLC Sim, okay.
What I wanted to show you, sorry, not here, but if you want to know more, you don't want to go through the tutorial and you want to know more how to set up these generic PLCs, you can come here to the data model and check the communication driver. Here you have all these drivers we have developed, and you can set,
quite a lot.
Yeah, you can click any of them and it explains which are the parameters you need to use and what do they mean. Okay, so when you change in the model from one driver to another, the parameters are automatically updated here, so you don't need to think much about that, but you may need to adjust them. Okay, in this case with PLC Sim, this is the default IP, as we will see now, so you don't even need to change that. Okay, so let's go to TIA Portal very quickly. I'm gonna create a project. We are gonna call it webinar. This is TIA Portal version 16. It works with newer version, even older version, and using this driver, the PLC Sim, it works even with the old step 7. So
step 7, okay, that's very nice.
Yes. So now we have a project. It's getting loaded. We can go to configure our device. We are gonna add a new device. Let's add a S1200 CPU. We have one here in our lab. I'm gonna take the same hardware. That makes possible for me as well that I could use the same program, and this is very interesting for the audience. Once you have done this virtual lab and program it in PLC Sim, if you have the real replica of that lab in your installations or in your physical lab, you could ask your students to take the same program, download it to the real PLC, and demonstrate the results in a real lab. Okay, and these virtual replicas of your own labs is something you can do yourself, but it's also something that we very often we do to our customers. So it's not that uncommon that they contact us, they say, okay, we want to start using virtual labs, we want to use Simumatik because it's flexibility, there are a lot of public systems and so on, but we would like to have this lab we have in our school inside Simumatik, so the students can take it home.
That's true.
And practice.
And
for that, as you know, the team can just gather some information from the customer, like some drawings, 3D model if they have it, and so on. And they can make a quote and they can build it in a few days, max few weeks. They can build this virtual copy of their lab. So that's cool. Okay. Sorry for that, but
no.
This is
good to know.
Yeah, it's good to know. I mean, now we are doing some fictitious labs, but what I wanted to say is that you can create real replicas as well. So we are gonna take this CPU.
So now we created a project, and now you're gonna just add the IOs
for
the students, right?
Yes. So we need to do a few settings here. So in order this system to work, or this PLC to work with Simumatik, let's just start PLC Sim.
Okay.
Yeah, just to we haven't programmed anything, we haven't done any
Right.
setup. Okay,
Okay.
just to show that
Okay.
without those few settings, the
Mhm.
communication won't work. So we have
All
PLC
right.
sim now. It's gonna download the project
Great. Okay.
very quickly.
And the IP address is the default IP address
Yeah,
192.168.0.
we will see
Yeah.
it now.
Okay.
Once this PLC starts, we will see that it takes the default. Let's start a module,
Yeah.
and yeah, this is ready.
Perfect.
Now we can go back to Simumatik. We can activate
Okay.
the gateway. It's a stop.
Gateway.
Okay, we need to decide when to
Okay.
start it.
All right.
It's gonna start. Now we have this IP address here.
This is by
So
default
now
here.
hopefully
Okay.
it may be, and it usually happens when we are recording, that it takes some seconds to detect the gateway, but now it detected the gateway.
Got it.
We can click
Okay.
play, and what we will see is
Okay.
that there is some issue here. It says some variables are not defined and so on.
Yeah,
This
variables are
is
not defined.
yeah,
Okay.
this is something that we didn't make before, because we have here the cards, but the addresses where the inputs will be written and the outputs will be
Right.
read are
Right.
set up as in the tutorial for Modbus. So
In the
those are
tier.
Modbus
Got it.
registers. We need
Yeah,
to
yeah,
tell
yeah.
this card,
Okay.
this is an input card. We need to tell it, okay, let's put
Got
these
it.
16 inputs,
Input.
digital inputs in word 0. Important
Okay.
for Siemens.
Ah.
Invert the order. This is
Okay.
something,
To invert the
yeah.
order. All right.
Siemens
That we have to
uses
do.
lower and higher byte in different order. We have it in
Okay.
the tutorials as well, and we need to do the same here with the output card. So let's say we are gonna
Okay.
write, we are gonna read from QW0. So
QW0. Okay.
now the model is actually ready. Let's try again. We click play. We will get this error, okay? Write quality error. And this is because the PLC is not set up for allowing communication,
For
okay?
reading IW0. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is something we just need to do, and it's very quick. It's a few settings.
It's very quick. Yeah.
So
Would get
exactly,
like that.
exactly. So
Okay.
first thing we need to do, just go here, properties, and let's expand this. We need to go to communication, and yeah, you see here,
Okay.
here in the protection and security, make sure you have full access, and then here you activate putget. So once we do that,
Right.
save,
Right.
download this to the PLC.
But do we have to change something with the IOs, the inputs and outputs?
Yes, I want to show you
Okay.
that as well. So with
All
that,
right.
we should be done. So now we won't have the same error. Okay. So at this point, we should be able to, according to the connections, we should be able to press this button, and it will activate. This button will activate the first input, or input 0.
Input. Okay.
Yeah, and this will activate input 1. We can see that as well if we check the drawings, okay? Because this system has the drawings.
Oh, wow.
So we could go here, and here we see button green to input 00, input 01, and then the same for the outputs. We have 00 and 01. 00 to retract the x-axis, and 01 to extract the axis. So let's say we want to work with those variables. The problem in this case is that this PLC has some input and output.
Output, physical input output.
Physical input and output. If we don't do this change here, the thing is that
exactly. I was thinking the same.
Yeah, it's gonna take in every scan cycle. It's going to put zeros.
To conflict
in the inputs.
Yeah, it will conflict. Yeah.
So we just need to say, okay, this little guy, and we could do the same for the analog inputs in case we want to use them. Let's don't care of them in the scan cycle. So now when Simumatik is gonna write in the input word 0, nothing is gonna override that. So now we should be able to test something. once we are here,
Okay.
just do very simple exercise. Let's do button. Button green. We are gonna declare few variables. Button green, input 0 0, as I say. Button blue.
Okay.
Is gonna be the port 1, and now we say x-axis forward is gonna be output Q01, and x-axis backwards it's gonna be 0 0. Okay, so those are some variables we are gonna use now because we know how everything is mapped.
All right.
And again, as a teacher, now we have a project with all the settings ready. We can save it.
Right.
We could prepare for the students all the IO variables in this list so they can just start programming, which is what I'm gonna do now. So now let's say we have everything mapped here. The student can come to the OB1 and do whatever the teacher has asked. In this case, the first exercise can be as simple as, okay, can you press the green button and make the cylinder expand, X-cylinder expand, and then press the blue one and make it retract. So we can just, let's write that and finish this exercise. So now we do like this on the X-axis forward. And now we do this and we type here blue button. But it's called button blue. Yes, and the output. X-axis. Okay, so nothing new. We just make a very simple ladder program.
Just a sample exercise.
And now we are gonna download this. Now we are downloading some new settings and the logic. So let's share both screens. We can have here our lab. We can just make this a little bit smaller. We can go online and see our variables. We can reduce this here. You see here, now we are online. This is our code. We click play. And now when I press the button, we see the contact has been activated. And when I press this, the contact is released. So now we can
very interesting.
We can show that.
So this is like the basic exercise we can give to students, that how this is being done. Now make a logic to pick in place the object, which I can see is the objective of this exercise.
Exactly. And now, as I was saying before, I can save this project. I could actually also make an archive and take this and put it somewhere
as an asset.
And upload it as an asset. So let's put it here in my webinar folder. And now we can go back, save this system as it is, and go to the page and upload this zip file, sub file. I didn't finish. No, it should be here. Now, we have it.
Interesting. That's very fast. Quickly making the program, uploading the asset, and it's gone already in the server.
And again, this lab is now accessible for you. We can add a PDF or whatever explaining the other task or what's the exercise about. So I think we are done. Or what do you think?
I'm checking if I can see this lab.
So
if I go to load, should be.
No.
Have you shared it already?
No, I didn't share it. That's good.
So
let's go back to my screen. Let's go and share now with the same group of students. That's interesting that you try. So
just
let's
to
come
see
here.
If I can see the asset.
And now we can go again on automation course. We share it again. You all guys can see it. And
I have it now. That looks.
And it's loading.
And loaded. It's loading.
And the thing is.
I just want to see.
So the thing is that let's go back to the first screen. So that's the process. Very simple. And Yeah, I mean,
Very nice.
this is just an inspiration for the audience to show how easy it is to get started, manage your students,
Yep,
your teachers, create new labs, and so
that's
on.
right.
We do this anyway with all our customers, and even we can sit with them, have a meeting, analyze their courses, see which kind of exercises or labs are they doing now, what can be virtualized, and if we can
Right.
help in that. And as I mentioned before, we can also help building virtual replicas of existing labs. That's
That's
also
true.
possible. So that hopefully explains most of it, how it is done, and illustrates that this is not rocket science, right?
Right. That's true. I think it opens up a big platform for the students who are studying from home because of pandemic, and they can immediately implement their ideas, just signing it up, open the platform. Sometimes the ideas come not in the school, but somewhere else, but they
Yeah.
can just open up the platform and integrate the sensors or I don't know, robots or whatsoever. It's a great way to quickly have the access to the system and make changes.
Yeah.
I think I'm really impressed with how you can quickly do these changes and share it with your students and ask them to put all your ideas together and make some new systems.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, I think.
Yeah, and I think something that we really like is that even if you have taken a course where the teacher was using Simumatic and you have been kicked
Yeah,
off the course or this organization, you can still keep
yeah,
using Simumatic and learn. And if you
that's
want,
true.
you can
That's true.
subscribe for 1 or 2 months and keep learning.
That's true.
And that's
And as and as a student, he can subscribe to different organization
yeah,
and have
yeah,
more systems
yeah.
availability. That's also interesting. Oh, great, very nice.
Cool. But
So do you
then
also have like a forum where students can put their queries, some forum for Simumatic if someone has a problem to
yeah,
access something or
I mean,
so
it,
this is
if you want, you can always access the forum in the
okay.
question mark. I didn't show it
Okay.
before, but I can go back very quickly.
Okay.
We have here in the
Okay.
question mark the community forum. You access it, and again,
A community forum.
yeah, here you
Oh,
can
that's what I was thinking.
yeah,
Okay.
here you can ask questions about Simumatic,
Interesting.
yeah, how to use it, and so on. Again, the
Okay.
academy is a very good place to get
Good place
started
to
and so
learn.
on. Another feature that we
All right.
already have in another video is to send it feedback. We love it, and
Yes,
here you can tell
that's I've seen it.
if you find any bug, if you have an issue,
Okay.
you want to tell us something, you want to suggest a new feature or whatever, you can do it here. You
Right.
can record even your screen and
Very
so on,
interesting video.
or yeah,
Mhm.
take a screen part or whatever. Yeah, so that's
All right. Okay.
super interesting. So
Very interesting.
I think we just can thank everyone. We don't see any question
Yeah.
in the chat.
No, not yet.
So yeah, I
But
think
feel free to comment if you have any questions, and hopefully we get back to you as soon as possible
yes, add
in
comments
the
in
YouTube
the
comments.
channel. Yeah,
Yeah.
great. Well, thank you very
And
much,
feel free to
Radvi.
stay tuned. Yeah. Thank you, Mikkel. Just one information for the audience. Stay tuned to our LinkedIn page
Yes,
where we are posting most of our new features and upcoming webinar news. So this LinkedIn page is also in the description of the video. You can check it out.
yeah, cool. Thank you again. See you, everybody.
Thank you, Mikkel.
Bye bye.
See you next time in the different webinar.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.